Hello, it's Jo here. How are you? It seems forever since I've done one of these live streams. We had Easter and then I was away, and yeah, so much is unfolding, so much magical stuff is unfolding. So exciting times. Anyway, I am going to do a live stream today on the power versus fear archetype of prostitute versus lover. Hey Jamie, thanks for joining. We touched on this, one of these archetype pairing, in the overview video that I did a few weeks ago. And the reason I wanted to expand on more of this prostitute versus lover, because it is the first and foremost oppositions that we need to master. Because until we have got to grips with our true self-worth, nothing else is really going to fall into place. So I absolutely know that each and every one of us has run the prostitute energy for most of our lives, and we have all had a glimpse of what it means to be in the lover, where you are just in that space of this is what I value, this is what I hold dear to me, and this is what I am bringing forward. It's always the fear-based archetypes that come in and interfere and trip us up to take away our notion of true value. So today we're going to explore this a little bit more. So what does it mean, the fear-based archetype of prostitute? This is where you compromise your truth and your values and your desire and your powers, and you give yourself away in return for authority and approval of others. You crave security. Okay, so for example, you decide that you can't do this, that or other because you have this or that or the other role to play. You can't go off on a holiday on your own because you've got a family to be responsible for. Never mind that you actually are worthy of having that holiday. It would serve you best to go and recharge, refuel your own self batteries, so you can be a better mother, wife, and lover to your partner. That kind of goes out the window. It's like the responsibility for the family comes first, and so you put your value of others before yourself. And it is especially true for women that do this, where they play all the different roles. Hey Loretta, hi! Where they play all the different roles in life, you know, as a mother and a wife, and working in your business, where we do so much for other people that we're not valuing our own worth and truth in the first place. So we put aside what is it that we're really truly wanting to come forward. So when we're in the lover, in that archetype of the power, we are just running that energy of this is my truth, this is what I stand for, this is how I express myself, this is what I'm bringing forward no matter what anybody else is thinking, and not for the sake of anything else. So many people I see, you know, that think, well, I can't live into my dream because I have this role to play and that responsibility, and you know, all the other fear archetypes come in there as well, where you've got your saboteur and your victim and your child that is always outside yourself to be responsible for. But this sovereign energy is what is the lover energy. This is what's so key in knowing your own self-worth in the first place. So when you hold so true to your heart what your desires and your values are, it's standing so steadfast in that no sacrifice is too great for those. And this can be really, really hard when, hey Anna, this can be really hard when we've got, as I say, we've got all these different roles to play, and how, you know, what's going to unfold around you. When you've got the lover running, you are so in alignment and play out in direct response, alignment with your own self-worth. Oh, Louise, lots of people joining today. This is great. Hey, telling my story. Yeah, Jamie, look, I think we've absolutely all played that. And, you know, a lot of the work I've done over the past 5 years with women, time and time again, especially if they have that Hedarian and Mintakan soul realm running, where, you know, the love and light element, if you like, where we're just taught that we want to be wanted, need to be needed, and we're in service when we're serving others in the world because we don't know how to fuel ourselves up. Sarah, hello. God, everybody's joining today. I love it. We don't know how to fill ourselves up with our own self-love in the first place. And much of what I've taught for the last 5 years is really how to fuel yourself, how to tap in, how to stand in your own sovereignty and value within your heart space. And it's a really, really tough challenge for women, especially, that just want to give to others. They feel that when they give to others and make a difference for others and serve others and share their gifts with others, then they are appreciated, liked and loved back enough to feel worthy of receiving that self-love. Yeah? And when we can take it to the next level is that we stand so firm in our own self-worth and self-value that we no longer need anybody around us to interact with to prove how worthy we are of our love, of the love that we can give to ourselves, self-love. Does that make sense? By all means, put some comments in if, oh God, these blooming live streams. One day I'll learn how to, where's now? I don't want to go there. How do I get to see comments? Anyway, I can see who's watching. Well, I saw your comment, Jamie. I'm sure it will come up if it's there. So if we go back to the fear archetype for a moment, it's, we come up with the lines and the excuses of this is what I think I can afford and this is what I think I can't afford. You know, this is what I can't afford to feel, to want, to desire, to believe in. Because if I felt and desired and believed in these things so truly and firmly and then couldn't have them, who's deeming the couldn't in that conversation? Okay, that's where we sacrifice what's really true to our hearts based on expectations and based on society and human conditioning. And this is where you continually compromise yourself in, is this self-value and what's important. You know, I know some of you very well that are watching, and that mission in life to continually search for the truth, search for the answer, search for the missing piece. And yet you know that the answer is inside. And the reason that it hasn't aligned is because you haven't committed to your own value of bringing forward that true purpose to the fullest extent that it can in your life, in this reality. Yeah, does that resonate for you? I hope that does. And you know, when we say, okay, well, there's this thing I really, really want to do. It's calling me. It's in my heart. I want to align with it. And yet part of you goes, well, supposing it doesn't work, supposing it's not the solution, supposing I invest and it doesn't come up, which is your saboteur, right? The reason that it may not fulfill to your expectations, it can not align for many reasons, there is an element of trusting that this soul purpose and calling will fulfill you and will light you up. And yet what you're really, really fearful most of all is betraying your own self-worth and giving yourself away and compromising your own values and worth, so not to step into that full alignment to have it happen. Does that make sense? And these are the things that aren't taught in spiritual teachings, in law of attraction. They're just talking about alignment and then put it out there and wait for this gestation period for manifestation. And it so doesn't work like that all the time. I mean, sometimes you've got to have the universe lining things up. We call it your magic man, lining things up and getting processes and systems in place so that you energetically can be ready to receive the higher level of what you're calling in. Those circumstances do happen. And yet you have to be at that vibration that I am worth the wait. I am worth this coming forward. I have no doubt. I have an unwavering self-belief that I am able to create exactly what it is I'm choosing because I am worth it. I know my gifts, I know my talents, I know my abilities, and I'm standing by that. Sarah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I struggle with that feeling that if I start what I want to do, that I'm somehow neglecting my children. Absolutely. I know logically this doesn't make sense, and yet I still struggle with it. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing that. And, you know, as a mother, and I'm a mother, a single mother to 2 boys, it is, we just give ourselves away, this mask of the mother that we wear, of my children must come first, and this guilt trip that we put ourselves on, because it's only an illusion, it's only what you've ever been taught, that it's not right to put yourself first before the children. And yet, in an emergency situation, Which oxygen mask do you put on first on the aeroplane, right? Those air hostesses never tell you to make sure your kids are sorted before yourself, right? Because they know what happens in the times of crisis and emergency, who needs to be sorted first. And what I say is, why wait for a crisis or emergency to actually put yourself first? Because your children have chosen you to be their mother, and you have got this relationship that you've agreed upon before you came in, that their lessons to be learnt, your lessons to be learnt, and that goes with everybody that you interplay with in this lifetime. We have thousands of people we interrelate with, all bring us as experiences and growth and challenges and lessons, or whatever words you want to use. It's just all that is. We're all the same. And yet there's nothing more important than, I used to say, nothing more important than how you feel. At the end of the day, if you're still at that space where nothing's more important than how you feel, it's how you feel that you're valuable when you help your children first before yourself. Right? Because there's externalization, and that's what we're taught. Everything is outside ourselves. When we help other people and love other people outside ourselves first and foremost, then we'll be worthy of receiving the love. Then I've fulfilled my duty as a mother, or a wife, or a partner, or a business person. Yeah? And so when we in that situation, it's like, no, I have to put my own values and truth first. So when you get absolutely crystal clear on what your vision and mission is for yourself, yeah, why wait for a crisis until something happens? Absolutely. When you get so clear on your mission and vision for yourself, which can absolutely include be the best mother that I can, and yet being the best mother that you can means you putting your oxygen mask on first, which may mean on a daily basis you having your 15 minutes of meditation, cup of tea, reading time a day, your half an hour at the gym a day, you going through whatever it is, and you have others fit in around you. Yeah? You are the creator of your life, and not being subservient to another human being at any time. And if you call that selfish, so be it. But at the end of the day, you're the only person that you can be fully responsible for on this planet. Ever. I don't care how many children you've got or how many grandparents you've got to look after. You are the only person that you are fully responsible for in this lifetime. Everybody else chooses and gets to choose their own way of playing out their life, their way, on their terms. Absolutely be a great role model. But as I talk about with Mintakas, be the ones that you're the lighthouse. Be the ones that shine your beacon brightly with your boundaries in place, your energetic boundaries in place, so you're not getting washed out by the stormwater, like the lighthouse that Mintakans love to do. Oh, I'm more freely available to everybody. If I'm there helping my children the whole time, or I'm there serving my clients the whole time, and I'm giving all my energy out, then I'll be worthy of what I'm doing here in life, rather than going, here's my energetic boundaries, I'm filling myself up first. And, that we have to be that inspiration, that beacon of light, and not the one responsible for turning everybody else's lights on. They'll figure it out. Give them an opportunity to learn. Yeah, every time you don't do something for somebody is an opportunity for them to learn to do it for themselves and choose the way that they want to do it and choose the way they interact. So when you turn it around, you provide the opportunities in every situation for an interaction, an attitude reaction, yeah? So you turn it around, and then the guilt around it just completely lifts. Does that make sense, Sarah? By all means, put something in. Jamie, isn't it ridiculous when you're ready? We're negotiating 15 to 30 minutes of me time a day. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, as a single mother of two, my time to myself is anywhere between 5 and 6:30 in the morning in my bed doing my meditation, my journalings, my stuff. I have a week on, week off with my children. Yes, that's the lifestyle that I created. I deliberately created it that way, and serves me. I'm a way better mother for that. I'm not suggesting that suits everybody. I do understand that. I go to bed when the children go to bed, so that I have a good hour in the evening of my time. Again, meditating, journaling, what needs to come through. And I took myself away for 3 days at the end of last week. I needed a change of environment, reset my sleep clock, program in. Me going away every three months is an absolute necessity for me. It's what I choose. I want a break. I want to be looked after. My hosts cooked for me. I stayed in the most beautiful room. I'm worthy of that. That's one of my values. It's a non-negotiable to have my time every day. I nap in the day when I choose. I always napped when my children were little. You know, as a mother, you're tuned in. They could be doing whatever they were doing in the lounge. I would wake up in an instant, but I had to sleep. I was not going to compromise my sleep for that. I had to compromise my sleep enough at night time. I wasn't going to do it in the day too. Great, Sarah. It's great to change that perspective. You know, it's about, really is about fueling yourself up in the first place. And again, when you're so clear as loving yourself, that your self-worth, self-value is so important, to have that from the inside. No sacrifice is too great, right? Your children will fit in around them. What an example you're giving to them to show that it's okay for mum to say, no, this is my time. Because if you're doing everything for them, putting them first, guess what? That's what they expect all their life. Whereas they start realising that there has to be some compromise and some boundaries. Mum needs her downtime. My boys are very well attuned to mum needs her downtime. Very, very well attuned. They know that, absolutely. And it's a non-negotiable that when I need my time, it's my time. Because then they understand that everybody needs different things in their lives, and that's putting your value first, you know. So, any more questions? I know I've sort of gone off on a tangent, but I love having questions and feedbacks. And thank you for joining me today. So, you know, as always, if you are ready to really step into your power type archetypes and live from that place of energy mastery and shadow alchemy, that is absolutely what I'm bringing forward for my clients now, as well as the energetic work I'm doing, bringing them to total mastery on the light grid and then beyond into their creative genius of their dark feminine and beyond. And I am just loving what I'm doing, what I'm creating, what I'm bringing forward. I will do another live stream this week, sharing what came up for me for the weekend. So exciting. I can't wait. Don't know what it looks like, but hey, I'm trusting. So yes, if you feel that you're ready to explore them more and really step in and really be committed to making that transformation, hey Elaine, hey to the States, by all means book in to do a discovery call. PM me, or I'll put a link below where I help you see the patterns that you've been running in your life and which ones of the fear archetypes are really helping you, or hindering you, I should say, from moving forward, okay? And stepping into all that you are. Because, you know, I've done a few discovery calls now and I love them. And I'm so excited to be working with my new clients that have made that commitment. I so acknowledge them that have made that commitment, because they know their value is so paramount. They've got to the point in their life that they just are, their soul is screaming for that freedom, for that liberation, to release themselves the shackles of human conditioning, to really get clarity around their, you know, their business or their purpose or whatever aspect it is for you that's important. And it's not always easy to make an investment in time and money to the level that I require of you. And it's about stepping in and going, wow, I will trust completely in making that space and financial investment and commitment to me, because I am totally worthy of bringing my soul purpose forward, and no longer will I compromise on my truth and integrity and my value and my sovereignty for the sake of this illusion of not enough money. Okay, so when you see the patterns behind that, which is what I reveal in the discovery call, as well as your other archetypes that are running your show and have been for some time, and help you shatter the illusions for you individually, by all means come forward for a discovery call. I just love helping women just break through into, you know, shatter the paradigms of transformation into their unique genius. So I think that's it. If there's no other comments, by all means leave feedback if you've watched this in the comments below, and we will touch base really soon. Namaste. Take care.